Eyes down for a follow. Afternoon folks, Monday, and here we have another little gem for sale. It's an AMH Jet 30 compressor, and it's in good working order. Something that I don't need because I've got compressors to cobble dogs with. So I'm going to take some pictures of it and get it slapped on. What did we sell last week? Last week we sold a dog guard and we sold a little circular saw. This is the next thing to go on. It's all working now, it's finished. I cannot find that. I've got a 110 volt pistol drill somewhere and I can't find it to save my life, so I'll just sell it as it is. It's a pity because it would have gone with it. But never mind. Right, so there's another thing. And yet another thing is this. Not that. That I am keeping. But underneath it is a little hand-wound blacksmith's forge, which, if you remember, disappearing into the dark. If you remember, I made a handle for it a few weeks ago, so it's now all complete and ready to go. So it's just sitting there, and it may as well go. So I'm going to get that on sorted and get that on as well. Lift that off the top and then move that round. Lift that off the top, probably onto the forge for now, because I'm still in a bit of a mess in here and need tidying up. We need to fix the roof, we need to get the heater going for winter, because that's quit in typical fashion. I made far too good a job of it and made it far too complicated, and I should have kept it simple, but there you go. Never mind, that's me. Keep it complicated. Right, onward. I've just given the compressor a test, it works a treat. So it's surprisingly powerful. Surprisingly powerful. Maximum PSI 115, 8 bar. Cubic feet a minute. It's 3 cubic feet a minute. That's litres a minute. 85 litres a minute. Half horsepower, no, 0.6 horsepower, 240 volt. There you go. Right. I've been up today and done my doggy duties, given Keith a hand to clean the dogs out and sort everything out while Angela's away. We had an amazing thunderstorm last night and it's been less than dry today, but I see it stopped raining now, so there you go. Right. And I've just realised I've found, or Keith's found an enclosure to put these things in for the wildlife cam, and I've left it up there. Doesn't matter if I can pop up and get it. Right, that's another little job that I want to get done this week or very, very soon. And of course there's that bloody chainsaw as well. That needs sorting out. Never mind. Okay, bye now. Hi folks. Here's item 3 on today's Sell It All agenda. Right. This is a very nice little portable forge. It's got the blower on the back. If you remember, I made the handle for it. It's just the right size. It'll go in the back of a van. You could make a stand for it if you wanted. But basically, it's all there. It's ready to go. It just wants some coke chucking in it. I'm just going to make some pieces to fit in there just to hold that up. And then I think it's done really. Maybe a handle for the lid, and I think that'll do it. Right, I'll crack on with it. Some galvanised strip metal is called for. There's the blower. Makes the traditional noise. Blows lots of air out. No, I'm not going to light it. Bye now. That's it folks. Friday, 5 o'clock, no, Monday, 5 o'clock. Just listed this. Just had a reply for it. I didn't think it would be long selling because they are as rare as rocking horse poo. But there you go. Right, I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye now. Afternoon folks, back at the workshop again. Just gone 2:30 and we're looking for another job. It ought to be this bloody chainsaw really, didn't it? Let's see if we can get the bugger going. And I've bloody walked out again. Keith got me a waterproof enclosure, i.e. a big plastic box with a clip-on lid, to put all this in, and I've bloody forgotten it again. Never mind. But first, I think with this, this would make a very nice stand. Get rid of the strange wooden box, weld some angle iron on it, put a top on it, put the gas bottle underneath, right, and put the gas forge on top of it. So it then makes the gas forge wheelable, because that's got wheels on the front and legs on the back. So I could just pick it up, wheel it around, wheel it into a corner, it's out the way. So that's a project coming up. It's got to take one of those gas bottles underneath. So I'll probably need to raise it a bit, or drop it onto a hole, into a stand, or something or other. Right, that's what I'll do. Right, but first, I've just had a bit of a tidy up here, right, because all this stuff kept blowing over. So I'm now going to sweep that mess up, and we've got a bit of yard back. All this stuff needs to go. I've found the phone number for the man for the roof, for the roofing, so I'll give him a ring tonight and see what he's got, because that one's doing as well, because otherwise that roof's going to be ruined and all the ceiling inside is going to be ruined, and I'm going to curse myself for not having done a proper job in the first place. Right, bye now, be back in a minute. Right folks, the pesky little carburettor is off, and I've found a tiny piece of fluff, or what looked like fluff, blocking one of the ports. So I've stripped it and I've rebuilt it. But I don't have a great deal of faith in these carburetors, because usually once you go inside them they never work again. But never mind, we'll give it a go tomorrow, because it's 5 o'clock now and I've just had a call from Catherine to say, I'm putting tea on, are you coming home? And the answer to that is, yes, I most certainly am. So there you go. I'm still suspicious of this little pump mechanism. Now, theoretically it should be right, because it has a one-way valve in it. As you can see, that is pumping fluid out and not returning it, so it should be right. It should be right, but who knows? Who really knows? We'll put it all back together tomorrow and we'll see if it goes. We'll just see if it goes. Right peeps, see you all tomorrow. Bye now. Right folks, Wednesday, and with a bit of a fiddle and a faff and some Permatex, I've got the carburettor back on. Well, it's different. It starts and runs for longer now, but as it runs for a few seconds longer, I can get my finger on the throttle and I can throttle it, and it throttles for so long and then it dies, which to me means it's not delivering petrol, which means we may well have a faulty diaphragm. Although why it should suddenly decide it's got a faulty diaphragm at this point, I don't know, because when I brought it down here to replace the bulb there, it was perfect. It was starting every time. You press that 7 times, pull the choke out, pull it a couple of times till it fires, put the choke in, and off it would go, and that was it. And it was a really, really good starter. We were for a Ryobi, we were really impressed with it. But I shall persevere with it a bit more, and I think I'll just order a diaphragm or a carb rebuild kit for it and see if that cures it. But I have noticed the top cover that covers the diaphragm is only held on with 2 screws. Right? When you pump the bulb here, it oozes tiny amounts of petrol out, as though the edge of the diaphragm has become porous. but holding it down with 2 screws is not enough. It should have 4 screws in it. It is drilled for 4 screws, but only 2 of them are tapped, and the other 2 are little tabs that just locate the diaphragm. So it's not very well made. Never mind. Bye now. And as I step in the door from testing the chainsaw, this happens. So I'm not going to test it again. Never mind. Bye now. Right folks, I'm going to order a new diaphragm kit for this carburetor. I'm not happy with what's in it. It's running a lot better. It starts and it runs now and you can rev it, but it's still cutting out, and I'm pretty sure it's the diaphragm that's not opening the valve. So we'll get a kit for that. And I decided to start on this. Out of the blue I thought, there it is, there's another piece of stuff that needs selling. Right, so I've stripped it and serviced the valves, just checked that they're not stuck. Behind each one of those is a valve. You need a big spanner, a really big spanner, so that you can give those a good tap and get them loose. Right, but the main problem with this is this elbow, which had split because it's not very strong. And I thought, well, I'll solder it up and see if I can do it. Well, I have done, but if you look there's still a little mark, and you know it's going to leak. So I went raking among the boxes of wonderful things I have downstairs, and here presto, there's another one. So that will go on there tomorrow, and then I can put it all back together again and see if it works properly this time. It does work. It's a cracking piece of kit actually, but I have that one over there, and that one in that corner is also a good piece of kit and much easier to move around. Here's a piece of brilliant engineering not right. They've put the handle on the wrong end. Right, so what you've got here is a little foot, and what you've got here is 2 wheels. Now if they put the handle on this end, you'll be able to tilt it back like that and push it around on its wheels. But because they've put the handle on that end, you have to pick it up and drag it like that, and it's a complete pain in the backside. But there you are, and it's British as well, I'm embarrassed to say. It's W. Bateman Cellark, because they were welder agents, and they also made these. W. Bateman Cellark, Lincolnshire I think. What does that say? Danger! There you go. I think they bought these units in. Because if you look at this, I think it's Italian. I think the whole lot is Italian. But one thing's for sure, it's a beefy pressure wash. It's a beefy mains pressure wash. So, we'll crack on with that tomorrow, see if we can get it working properly, then we'll list it for sale. Okay, see you all tomorrow. Bye now. Afternoon folks. What a change. Gorgeous sunny day today, quite warm. So, 2:30, I'm back at the workshop. We've had a few hassles today, but we've got through them all. So, it is continuing on the pressure wash. Now, I showed you yesterday I found that elbow, which is the same. It's a 3/8 by 3/8 M&F elbow, which will screw into there. So, I'm just going to strip this valve and check it's okay, and then I'm going to fit it back up. We'll take it outside and we'll test it. Bye now. And there we go folks, sweeping the mud in front of it. I think what's happened with this, I think the nozzle in the pressure wash is worn out, but the pump's certainly working better now. That's it. It can go at that. I'm not going to ask much for it. Another one bites the dust. Bye now. Good evening folks. The week has got away from me. It's Friday and it's gone 5 o'clock. And I've had a second thought about this pressure wash. When you're using it, it vibrates. I'm just sitting down, so I've twisted my knee and I'm in a bit of pain. When you're using it, it shuts on and off. It's vibrating all the time. Right? When you release the trigger, it vibrates even more. Now in here is a valve. Right? But it's a very unusual type of valve. I assume that the water goes in the bottom, along there, out of that outlet, round here, through here, and back in there, and then down to the lance. That's an assumption. Right? I'm not sure whether it does work like that, but that seems logical. In here is two very strong springs and a valve at the bottom. Right? The valve has two drillings through it, as though pressure coming down this pipe would go through the drillings and force the piston back up against the springs. Right? Now I've checked those drillings and they're clear, but the O-ring on the outside of the piston is a little worn, and I'm thinking that I'm going to replace that O-ring just to see if that makes a difference. Right? I have tried to find out information. This is a very, very common and actually quite expensive compressor pump. It's an interpump W70. But look, as far as I can, I found the manual for it, but it doesn't have this valve on it. So I need to find out what that valve does, and I need to put a new O-ring on it just to see if that makes any difference. And I was going to do it today, but today we've been completely smock-raveled with doggy work and kennels work, because Angela's still in hospital and is probably going to stay that way for at least another week. So thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking. Send me likes, send me hates, send me comments, and I'll get back to you all next week, and I'll try and get it done next week. Bye now.